but but that's awesome. But it goes really fast, that's for sure.
That's what I hear.
So, actually, you guys are all the ages of my children. So sorry you have to have class with your mom.
So are they going to school?
Yes. Well, my oldest, she's married, and her husband's stationed down in Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. So they're down there, and she's doing school online. And then my second oldest daughter, she's a sophomore at BYU, and she's just loving it, enjoying that. And then I've got a daughter who's a senior in high school, and then a son who's a freshman. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So, yep.
Keeps you busy.
Yeah, but I ended up having all my kids right away, and so I didn't finish schooling. And now that they're all leaving the nest, I figured it was time to go back and finish what I started. So, yeah. Okay, Benjamin, looks like you're back.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't crash again, so we'll see.
Okay, and it looks like it's live?
Yeah, it should be. Yep, it is.
Okay. What's the link in this forum, link to HOA recording? Where do
I can send it here. I think I actually can click on this and when it becomes activated.
Okay. What's the link in this forum, link to HOA recording? I just heard my voice.
Yeah, it's weird when it does that. Here, I'll put it on here. So on the side, you can there's that link. I just put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Man, you're techie.
Yeah, so you are.
If you press the blue, so you know where I showed you how to click on the
oh yeah.
Screen sharing? There's a little thing. The first one is blue. It's a little chat, and then it'll open up on the side so you can copy and paste it easier.
And that's to record it?
That's the actual link to the recording that's happening right now. So if you go watch it, it's like live. It's weird.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I have down.
Okay.
That's what I copied. Okay, cool. So glad you're in our group, Benjamin.
Do you work IT or something?
No, I've just done this thing so many times.
Oh.
So I took like business statistics on this, and we had to meet like 3 times a week.
Oh.
It's awful.
Sounds fun.
It was. It was a joy. All right.
Okay, so I've got our names, I've got our recording link. Now we got to give our example, explanation of our example, and all that. And so this week, oh, that doesn't say what it was. We had to use an article. Oh, I guess that's what I have to write. What was it? An article about an intentional tort?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think exactly. What exactly did it say?
Here, let me open up my thing. Unless you got it.
Okay. It's weird because I had everything up, but then now it's not up because I've got the Google Hangout thing, so I can't access it. Oh, wait, no, here it is. Oops. Too many things.
The example is an article that is an example of intentional tort.
An article that is an example of...
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's hear your examples. What'd you guys use? Quinn, we'll start with you.
All right, so mine, I went on the Wall Street Journal, and I found one that was talking about an insurance broker, how he stole about $1.8 million and is being charged with larceny and fraud for falsifying contracts. Obviously, this was done intentionally, and I would consider it intentional tort.
Okay. Sounds good.
This is
Okay, Riley, what'd you get?
So mine was an article about they were in Canada at a school, and there was 2 10-year-old kids, and they like planned to trip this one kid. So one of them kneeled down and the other one pushed him over his knees, and then the one kid fell down and broke his arm. And then now the mom of the one kid is suing the school and the boys for $600,000, but example of court because they pre-planned it and then they went and pushed the kid down.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay. That's a good one. I have my opinions on that mother, but anyway, so
It's kind of stupid.
it's a little extreme, yeah. Okay. But okay, so Benjamin, what did you get?
So I did one from like a New York Times, and it was actually talking more about like the law of intentional tort and slander, and it was talking about a guy who was slandered by it didn't actually say like the president, but it was like the White House officials, and how the law actually protects the White House officials. So even though they slandered against this guy, he has nobody he can sue because they're all protected.
Huh.
So he's lost his career and everything because of them, but now he can't sue anybody to get justice. So it was kind of interesting because it was like talking about the case and like the laws, and it kind of explaining how there's still kind of corruption within the law that was originally written to protect the government or the officials, but is now used so they can get away with stuff. So it was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. Okay, so mine, I got to pull mine up to see it. So I got mine from the Wall Street Journal, and I just put the article explains how a small shareholder of Uber Technologies. Okay, yeah. So basically, this little retirement fund in Texas is suing the company and the former CEO Travis Kalanick for fraud, saying they misled investors while raising capital by failing to reveal the company had potentially broken laws. This lawsuit, and this I put down here. This lawsuit comes after months of the company is already facing all these other scandals and lawsuits. So Uber is being sued for a lot of things, but this one was for fraud. So that's what I came with.
Perfect.
So, which example do you guys want to use?
Well, for like your case, Jennifer, it might just be easier to use yours, just because you can copy and paste it. I think everyone's are perfect examples. Like last week was kind of confusing, but I mean everyone's is fine. In my opinion. So if you just want to copy and paste it, then that will just make it easier for you, so we don't have to spend time retyping it.
So maybe whoever types will use their example each week, unless it's just totally off basis.
Crap, unless it's just garbage.
Unless Quinn, Riley, I'm totally fine because we used mine last week. I'm totally fine if you guys,
Yeah.
Those were both very interesting, both of yours.
I think yours is good. Sounds easier to me.
All right, then I'll just copy and paste. Oops. Yeah. So anyways, I can make that look a little nicer later. Okay. So that's explanation of our example. So it's an intentional tort and it falls under fraud is what it is. That article is pretty interesting. Uber's in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah. They got kicked out of like, I think they're kicked out of London now.
Are they? It's actually, it's a great idea because, anyway, it's a great idea. I've actually used them before, but that's the thing you got to be careful about with new startups is making sure you know the law and that you're not. Yeah. Well, this was done intentionally, but
they pissed off a lot of companies. So they're all after them.
Okay.
So yeah. Quiz question.
Yeah. So quiz question. Had you guys thought up ones, and just what are your thoughts on this?
So does it have to relate to the example? I
don't think so. At least to what we're supposed to do, intentional torts.
The topic.
Yeah, the topic at hand. It doesn't have to be. So had you guys thought of any questions or things or?
We could do one like, which of the following is an example of intentional tort, and then give like just 4 short little examples of stuff and have only one correct one.
That's really good. I like that. I thought it's something more complicated, and yours sounds way better.
Let's do that.
So I'm sorry, can you just say that again? I'll just type as you talk.
Which of the following is an example of an intentional tort?
Okay. So the correct answer.
I didn't get all
are we
that.
doing? Okay, so are we giving an example? Like, are we giving a story? Like, giving an example, and then the feedback would be, you know, like this.
Yeah, just
because we have to give feedback.
Short one that we can do, like.
Yeah.
Because all of ours were kind of long, but.
Yeah.
I guess like for mine, you could do, for a correct answer, 2 kids were planned to trip one, and when the one got hurt, that was an example. Or.
Okay. So which of the following example? The correct answer would be, or go ahead, someone else.
So no, but what Riley was saying, but just kind of making it more like according to the textbook. So if you look under intentional tort, the first example is assault. So threats while raising. Okay, so like 2 kids in high school threaten to fight, and then one goes to grab what seems to be a weapon. That's the example the textbook gives. So,
well, we have to come up on our own, though, right?
No, I agree. So I'm saying kind of like how Riley said it. I think
how Riley said. Okay. All right, Riley, tell it to me again, and I'll type what you say.
Okay, I gotta make it sound. Say, should we do like more grown-up kids than like little?
Yeah,
so
we
like,
can change it.
We can just say like 2 people were. Well, that's the same as the textbook. I don't know.
We could do something like, which of the following is not a tort, and list a bunch of different ones. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that might
be easier.
Yeah, because you could do assault, batter, false arrest, and false imprisonment. There's like 7 examples of intentional tort.
Yeah.
So
which of the following is not an example of intentional tort? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I have a question because I was confused on this. So when I was reading intentional tort and I was reading about the whole fraud thing, I'm a little confused because my husband, he'll deal at times with fraud cases, and those are criminal cases. But then the intentional torts are fraud cases. And I know it said something like it deals with like the U.S., what did it say? It gave the difference between crimes and torts. And where was it? But I was just confused of.
Well, like some of the frauds can actually be like, it can be like fraud, and it also could be a federal offense.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So there's like 2. You can get sued on both layers.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I can't find. It was somewhere in the book where it showed the difference between. Oh, here it is. 461. Crime and tort. So a crime is a public wrong against society, and a tort is a private wrong against individuals or businesses. But it seems like he deals with individuals and businesses on a crime level.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I was just confused by that.
A public wrong against society.
Well,
yeah, so like a terrorist attack is a crime. But like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like what you're saying. What's the difference between private and public when like, me going to shoot one guy is still a crime, even though it only affects that one guy?
Yeah. So I don't know. Because I was just thinking like he had a case where, this pharmacy, they were basically embezzling millions of dollars because they were changing out the pills for cheaper pills or something. I don't know. Anyways, there was a bunch of fraud in it, and so it was a business versus. Well, maybe that's against. Is that against the U.S. though? Is that why they? I don't know. Anyways, maybe I'll have to read a little bit more.
I don't know.
I'll just confuse you guys even more. So I won't do that. Okay. Which of the following is not an example of intentional tort?
So let's do the wrong answers first so we can get a clear, correct answer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's use Riley's example for wrong answer 1. And then the reason why is because of intentional assault.
Okay, so two
people plan to push a third person down. And he breaks his arm or something.
Two people plan to push a third person down and does it. Like, I feel like we have to put like, and they do it, or
and execute their plan.
And two people plan to push a third person down, and while executing, why can't I think all of a sudden how to spell executing? Okay, and while executing their plan, the victim, should I put that, or the third person?
Yeah, the victim.
Okay. Do you guys agree with that? The victim.
The victim's arm is broken.
The victim's arm breaks. I don't know. Does that sound right? Two people plan to push a third person out while executing their plan. The third person, maybe I should put the third person's arm breaks. How does that sound? Yeah? Okay, and wrong answer feedback.
So intentional assault.
Is that what it's called in the book, intentional assault?
Well, page 462 says intentional torques, and then inferences with the person is assault. So
this would be a form of,
or you could say pre-planned assault.
Or could you just say this is a form of intentional tort, and that's why it's the wrong answer?
And then assault.
And you could even go, just like page 462.
Wouldn't that be an example of a battery, though? I thought assault was...
Oh, yeah, that would be, because they actually put their hands, because assault is,
and actually broke something.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Another one we could do is do a tort, except for make it a tort of negligence.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Oh, wait, I guess that would be a... No, just kidding. That would be a correct answer.
Yeah, no, but we need 3 correct answers.
Or, sorry, no, like
we have to have 3...
We have to have 3 torts.
Yeah, so 3 torts. So another tort...
invasion of privacy you could do, in the sense of like an officer outstepping their bounds of what they can do to do like check of your car. I can't think of the word.
You could say an officer entered a house without a search warrant because he thought somebody had drugs.
He had suspicion of drugs in the house,
but he didn't. But he didn't.
So, and then that would fall under invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me that one more time.
So you could say an officer entered a house because of suspicion of drugs. Maybe you could change those words.
Well, I'm just wondering, don't they? I'm trying to think the whole. You know what? Let me call my husband real quick, because I feel like they're able to, on suspicion, they can do certain things on suspicion. Actually, let me take my headphones off.
Fine.
Invasion of privacy. So I'm wondering if that's a crime or is that intentional? He's not answering.
He's probably like entering someone's house because of drugs.
Yes. I tell you, there's been times where he's called and I start talking. He's like, Jen, I'm making an arrest right now. I'm like, well, don't answer the phone then. He goes, well, I never know if it's an emergency.
So your husband's a police officer then?
Here, back on. He's a special agent with NCIS, Naval Criminal Investigative Service.
Wow, just like the show?
Just like, yeah, just like the show. So actually the show is, it's funny because before the show came out, no one had ever heard of NCIS. And so that's actually kind of helped people have heard of it now. Still don't know exactly what it's all about, but yeah, but just like the show. Nice. So anyway, but I was just wondering because I know he's talked about having, like if you have, like I think you're allowed to search a car if you've got suspicion of something. And so I know, but I also know when they're like going to bust down, like a drug house and they're going to go through the door, they have to have a search warrant. So.
Well, I know like if they see something, say they see some drug material in the back seat of the car, then they don't need a warrant to enter.
But for this, okay, so invasion of privacy, interference with the person's right to be left alone, the right to solitude. So maybe, how about instead of saying an officer, why don't we just like make it just a person? That way we don't have to worry about if it's a crime or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we could
maybe a person.
Yeah, or you could say like illegally enters the house. That way it's just obvious that they didn't have the right to be there.
Although does that go under burglary, and is that a crime?
No, on page
no, we're talking about an officer. Okay.
On page 463, it says illegal search of a home.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so you guys are totally right. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
So,
I was reading it as you guys were talking.
So an officer enters.
Oh, actually, this might be easier, so we're not like crossing conflict. It says unauthorized use of names or likenesses or a picture of a person in commercial purposes. So you could say like an Apple commercial shows people using their phones without their permission.
An Apple commercial.
That would be an invasion of privacy under intentional torts.
Okay, an Apple commercial. Say that again. Okay. Say that one more time.
I think I said like displays consumers using their product in public without consent.
Or an app. Okay. Or maybe an Apple commercial. Do they? Yeah. Okay. So.
I don't know. You pick. I just give you the idea. You write it how you think it sounds best.
No, that's good. I'm thinking, what about an app? Or maybe the Apple company makes a commercial without the consent of the people. No, I don't know. Okay,
yeah.
Apple commercial. Ooh, someone said yeah.
No, I agree with you. What you were saying, you're good.
So what are they called? The Apple company?
Well, it's called Apple.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Apple creates a commercial creates commercial advertising without getting permission of the
bystanders. I don't know what would you call them.
Without getting permission of. Wait, Apple creates a commercial with people using their iPhone. Apple creates a commercial with people using their iPhone. People using. You guys want to chime in? I feel like I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be. Apple creates commercial. Or Apple records people using their iPhones for their upcoming advertisement without getting their permission. Okay, how does that sound? Apple records people using their iPhones for their upcoming advertisement without getting their permission. Oops, there's my husband. Declined. He's busy. Anyway, it'll be fine.
So
does
then
that
do we
sound
want
right?
Yeah, no, that sounds right. But do we want to like say without getting their permission, the bystanders have the right to sue upon what?
Sorry, that's my daughter now. Let me just silence this. Okay.
Do we need to say like why they're able to sue, or do we just want to leave it like that? Just examples.
I don't know. It should be.
I ain't looking.
You think we're good? Okay.
Yeah.
Apple records people using their iPhones for their upcoming advertisement without getting permission. This is a form of intentional tort.
Invasion of privacy. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, does that make sense, guys? Or
Yeah.
okay. All right, one more wrong answer.
Let's see. We can give an example. A man goes hunting, and this, I don't know, something simple. A man is hunting for an elk, and he sees an elk on private property.
Oh,
And do a, what do you call it? Or do a trespass to real property.
so is that, where does that fall under the, is that, oh, trespass to personal property? Or is that, okay. So a man goes hunting for an elk.
Or,
sees-
something with trespassing.
yeah. I like it's hunting season, or just about. I know deer starts this weekend, so. A man goes hunting for elk, sees a beautiful one. sees a big one on his neighbor's property, and just have it. No, I don't know. This might not sound right. Okay, a man goes hunting
on his neighbor's property. So he crosses the fence and pursues it or something. I don't know.
He goes hunting
These
for
are
an
so
elk.
hard to write questions. It's like the wording that's just awkward.
Yeah. A man goes hunting for an elk, sees a big elk on his neighbor's property, and I'm sorry, what did you guys and decides shoot it?
Yeah.
Or
what did you say?
decides to pursue it by crossing the fence.
Ah.
Or something.
By crossing onto.
And how about you just put, a man goes hunting and sees a big elk on his neighbor's property? Seems kind of redundant.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it is. A man goes hunting, sees a man goes hunting. Is that like comma or period there? Man goes hunting.
I just put and.
Sees a big elk on his neighbor's property, decides to pursue it by crossing over the fence onto his neighbor's property.
Which is clearly posted.
So on the fence onto his neighbor's property.
I would
right next to the trespassing sign.
Yeah.
I hope there are no PETA lovers in our class.
Oh, well.
So I would get rid of the second neighbor's property. So over the fence, which clearly says no trespassing. It just sounds too repetitive again.
Okay. A man goes hunting and sees a big elephant in his neighbor's property, decides to pursue it by crossing over the fence.
Which is clearly marked. Yeah. Or next to the no trespassing.
No trespassing sign. Okay.
Trespassing on personal property.
Personal tort. Oops. Okay. All right. So now we need a correct answer and feedback.
So correct answer, we could use, let's do tort, but have it be of negligence. Not quite so obvious.
Oh, so not making an intentional tort?
Yeah, just doing like a company creates a new product and unknown to them, it contains I don't know, some chemical that causes cancer or something, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but they would have to neglect to follow FDA and get it tested for them to be sued.
Okay, or the product, I don't know. But you know what I mean?
A company creates a product and skips standard testing to get it onto the shelves quicker. But it results in cancer. Because it's negligence.
But that wouldn't be intentional if they skip the...
Yeah, I say that's
kind of intent because they didn't.
I see what you mean.
Or do we want to just put like a crime, just an actual crime in there instead? So it's not even a tort?
John shoots Jill.
Well, or you could just do malpractice. A doctor does surgery and anything and drops the baby. That's malpractice. You get sued for malpractice.
Okay, so we're dropping babies, or are we shooting people?
Yeah. That was a really harsh example, but it was what I could think of really quickly.
wow.
Hey.
I mean, if we do, that would be really odd. I think you were meaning to do an unintentional tort, so it's not as obvious the answer, or what the answer is. Is that right?
A negligence, but yeah. I think that's what his intention was.
Okay, so which one do you want to do, or you have something else altogether, people?
I don't care.
Or we could do a car accident. Traffic accident is defined negligence.
A traffic accident. Okay, so
Sounds good. John was driving his car while texting, or just
there you go.
While texting, and ran into the back of Fred.
So this is not a form of intentional tort. It would be wait, what is it considered? Negligence? No. What is this?
Yeah,
is this just
considered negligent? No, it's negligent. I can't speak that word, but negligence tort.
Negligence
Tort.
Meaning unintentional? Do we need, or this is not a form, or this is, or maybe not this, this is, how about this is a form of unintentional? Is there an unintentional tort?
Well, the thing is you is negligence in the sense of it's not illegal to text and drive in some states, but it's he's not focusing on what he's supposed to be doing. So therefore, he got into an accident.
Right, guys?
Yeah, looks good to me.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so we're good. Okay. I might just look through it, make sure I didn't, here, let me stop sharing my screen. Oops. Did I do it? Wait.
It's, yeah.
Okay,
Got it.
I'm good. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so that's that. And then the only thing is we have like in a week or so, or not a week, I think it's a couple weeks, that group case thing. Have you guys seen that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked over it this morning a little bit.
Yeah, the PEP. Go ahead,
Is
Benjamin.
that week 3? No, okay.
We're on week 3 right now.
We are due on week 4.
So
next
we're
week.
next week. A week from today, we got to come up with it.
So
Okay.
do we just come up with it next Thursday, or do we need to come up with it before then?
I think it might take a little bit of time. Have you guys read the instructions on it?
It looks like we can do, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw the examples. One was like a PowerPoint, and another one was like a claymatic, or I don't know if you saw the thing with the Play-Doh they made. Anyway, so there's some examples. So some people, they said you could do songs, you can do videos, PowerPoints.
It even mentioned a puppet show. If you want to do that, Riley.
I did see the puppet show. We could all put little puppets on.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, a PowerPoint is easy because we can just make a Google Doc, a Google PowerPoint, and then we just make all the slides, write each other's names in parentheses, who's in charge of it, and then everyone just do separate slides, and then we'll just go over the whole thing and check it's good.
I agree.
Okay.
That's
So
the easiest way to coordinate it. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to say, so the case is against Pepsi. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet. And so basically what it's about is that there was a commercial that they made about Pepsi points, and this guy, at the end of it, it shows a Harrier jet, and he's like 7 million Pepsi points, and he kind of gave the idea that if you saved up 7 million, you could get this Harrier jet. And so this guy decided, well, I want a Harrier jet, and started collecting. And anyway, it was the lawsuit is Pepsi's like, you're ridiculous, because that's not what you meant. And if you read it, you can understand better, because I'm not doing a really good job. But so I'm just wondering, so is it basically we retell it and explain why? I'm trying to think. Actually, here's the instructions. It says, with your group, you will deliver a case presentation to the class explaining the outcome of the case for that week. Your group will be assigned 2 cases during the semester. The class needs to understand the law that was applied and why the case was decided the way it was. You may present the information using any format. Okay, less than 10 minutes. Okay, so basically we're just retelling it. Is that what it is? And explaining why it came out that way. So how would we do PowerPoint with that? Like, how do you divide that up?
So I don't know if we want to do like, I'm just taking another class where we do cases like this every single, like 2 of them a week. And the way that we do them is you just do like, you analyze the case, you like make your opinion, and then you show like questions that obviously need to be answered in the text, and then you like summarize it. So if we assign people, like one person just to analyze the case, just say, hey, Pepsi did this, this guy felt like this, and there was that conflict, and then another person show like the laws that would protect the man, the laws that would protect Pepsi, and then a synopsis of the case where it says, using the format, sorry. So like deciding how the law was applied, and just like a synopsis. I don't know how we break it up perfectly, but there's plenty of things that we have to explain.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So do we want to like, because I haven't read the case at all, and it'd be easier for me to just read the case and then know what I'm looking for, and then be able to type it all up. Do we want to go ahead and like make assignments and kind of get it started so that we can have next week a little bit, we can have a week to do it?
Okay.
Does that work for you all?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me create a Google Docs, and then we can share it. And then, does someone want to kind of decide how we're going to break it up perfectly?
So I'm not sure how you want to break it up because the first half is just kind of giving a synopsis of it. And then from what I understand, the second half is explaining why the court decided what they did and why the judges did what they did.
Yeah, and if we, I don't know if we break it all up into like different steps, my opinion might be a little different than Quinn's opinion, and then it might not like kind of flow together as good if we all just do our own.
Yeah.
So then what if we just like separate, two of us work on the synopsis, getting it all together, and then two of us work on the conclusion? And whether that's just texting back and forth to each other and kind of picking a synopsis. I don't know. I don't know how we can do this without having
We
to
could do that.
meet a bunch of times.
I want to show you something. This is the information, okay? And so the grading criteria, it shows down here. Presentation is well prepared, demonstrates the students have read and understood the case. Presentation helps other students understand the case. Visual aids enhance quality of presentation. Gospel, we even need a gospel application to it. And so this is all the things we're going to be graded on. And then actually it shows the little, did you guys see this? The little claymat. I'm saying claymatics. I don't even know if that's right. Did you guys see this at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, it's funny. I don't know if you want to. Actually, it's just kind of different. But I think you guys should do puppets instead. Forget the PowerPoint. You two just do, Quinn and Riley do puppets. And we'll give the gospel application to your puppet show. But
Start a fox out and start doing puppets.
Well, let me show you something real quick. If you see this, I'm trying to figure this out because like this video presentation, I mean, I don't know if there's supposed to be a paper that goes with it or anything because this is very... Can you guys hear that?
Uh-huh.
No?
Okay, now I can, yeah.
Seeing before, she decided she wanted to be there. And the wind was contrary. And so she jumped in and decided to go.
Well, so it's telling the story, and then let me see if at the very end, I feel like it just tells the story. And but I don't know if you do something like this, if you're supposed to do a paper with it as well.
Well, having found the fishbone the second time, she promptly sued for damages.
Okay, now that just told the story.
Yeah, so above it, there's a PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah, so let's see real quick. Is there PowerPoint?
Yeah, I can share my screen if you, unless you got it. You got it there.
Oh, I wonder if they did this. They probably did that little presentation and the PowerPoint separately. Okay, so yeah, so this is actually what, just to give you an idea. So there's, yeah. So it's like you'd have to break it up into, what is this?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a decent amount of stuff.
I mean, this is showing, like, I guess reading the article and I guess figuring out the codes or something and putting that in. And then someone saying what, writing up the plaintiff and defendant. Yeah, this is, and I don't know that we have to do it like this per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or we could think about it over the weekend and I don't know, maybe get together at the beginning of the week or text back and forth ideas or.
Yeah, I'm down with whatever.
Well, we need to all start thinking about it and try to get an idea and maybe text at the beginning of the week or text whenever we get good ideas that we could do.
Okay.
Can everybody meet, like, even if next Wednesday, could we meet for a couple hours if we needed to? Or do some people have classes?
I'm fine
good.
with that. What
I'm good to meet a little bit earlier. Say if we met at 9 to 11 or something like that, or 8 to
I could do
10
that.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's meet next week at 9, and then just come prepared with ideas on how we're gonna do this, and maybe
Yeah.
already have some information. You know.
So
Or Benjamin, if you wanted to start a Google Doc already, and if one of us feels ambitious, we could start on it.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good idea. As we find different information, we can kind of add to it, and then on Thursday we can fix
Fine.
it up or something.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
it's like, let me, come on. So, anyways.
Okay, so are we good, or what? You cut out there for a minute, Benjamin. Are you?
I'm just trying to make this Google Doc, and I just halfway think and halfway talk.
Okay.
So.
So that'll be email. That gets emailed to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be there in just a second.
Okay, cool.
And then will you submit our paper deal? Our questions?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I just saw this. Yeah, I'm gonna submit this. Are you talking about this? You can't see this. I'm not showing my screen. The group assignment.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna look through it, make sure there's no grammar errors, and then I'll send that out today.
Perfect.
So, okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
We'll see you next week, 9 o'clock Thursday. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.